everyone, it's Nicole here from the Garrion Tower. Thanks for joining us again this week. Last week we had a small interview update with Laura Casti, who is our project manager, and today we are going to be joined by a new guest, Kenny. Kenny, do you want to tell everybody who you are and what you do for the Garrion Tower project?
Sure, yes, thank you, Nicole. My name's Kenneth Martin, and I'm an architect. I'm the founding director of a company called Block Architects in Bells Hill. And if you've been following the social media, you'll remember that Laura mentioned there's an architect involved from Bells Hill. I'm pleased to say that's us. So we've been working with Laura and yourself over the last 3 or 4 weeks looking at the concept proposals for Garrion Tower.
Mm-hmm. And can you tell us a wee bit about Block Architects? Like, how did you start? Have you got any experience in, the industry of listed buildings and things like that?
Yeah, so Block Architects was set up primarily by myself back in 2004. When I first started, I really didn't want to employ staff. I just wanted to work myself from my wee office studio.
That's how we always start, Kenny.
Yeah, and I remember
being in my dad's old office in his spare room.
That's it. Well, that was me. I used to work in the attic. My wife used to leave in the morning to go to Glasgow, and I'd just sit and work all day in my dressing gown, Clients didn't need to know that I never need to get dressed. So that was me, answering phone calls and doing my drawings. But eventually the workload got a bit too big, and the first member of staff comes on, and eventually we moved out, got offices, etc., and the business grew. So we've been going since, as I say, 2004, and really on a kind of growth spurt just now. And the types of projects we've worked on the past year, we've done quite a few kind of listed buildings, such as, Garrion Towers. We've worked on a lot of kind of Grade B, Grade C listed buildings throughout Scotland. One of the local ones was recently Motherwell Library for North Lanarkshire Council.
And that looks amazing.
Yeah, there's been a lot of time, effort and work spent on that one just to get the stonework to a certain level and get the roof slates to a certain level. And we were at one point at the very top on the cupola with on the scaffolding, which was a bit scary, but we got back down as well. So quite a bit of experience in kind of listed buildings, and a bit of experience in the kind of hospitality hotel markets as well. So we've worked locally for some hospitality businesses, restaurants, wedding venues as well. So we kind of bring to the table,
You've got plenty of experience in the field.
In both. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
The Garrion Tower project, Kenny, tell us about, before we got to you, because obviously we didn't actually have an architect right for the get-go, so the project had kind of well and truly started before you came on board. How did you get to know about, did you know about the Garrion Tower project before we contacted you, or were you interested in the project already?
Yeah, we did know about it primarily through your social media engagement. So I remember seeing it on, I guess, Facebook, one of the social media channels, and I was looking at it, I thought, oh, missed that one, and I always, I think when I first met you, I did mention that it's a really gutsy project to take on, for anybody, and that I was really impressed that someone, yourself, had taken it on board. But I was a bit kind of thought, I wonder how I would get involved in that. And then when I was listening, I heard you had an architect involved, etc. I thought, okay, missed the boat. So, but I always kept following the, the social media. I was really intrigued by what you were doing, the vision as you explained at the time.
Aye, so if somebody's mad, you've got to watch them.
Well,
aren't you? That's how I see it. It's like, right, she's mad, I'm going to keep watching that.
I think a lot of people need to be mad right now, to do these kind of projects. But so that was it. So I still follow it, and you posted last week as well. I've actually got the whole office watching social media for Garrion Tower, so we're all into it.
That's amazing. It's exciting. Just because we are talking about that, then, Kenny, what do you think about the project? Like, when you first did come to meet us, and me and Laura were on site, and we were just like, this is our plans, and you were looking at the place, like, what's your thoughts on the project? Are you excited? Do you think that was doable? You were like, absolutely, like...
Yeah, I think I was probably just about excited as you, although I'm maybe not quite as flamboyant. Yep, so just as excited as you. I think the project has got wonderful potential, absolute wonderful potential, and I probably like you, I fell in love with the building when I first saw it.
Aye, 100%.
I'm a wee bit sorry of the state that it's in, and I think that obviously goes back to the way it's been looked after over the years. But I think anybody would be thankful for you for taking the project on, I actually can't wait to see it being finished, and I know we're involved, but it is that you get
it's the opening day, me and Laura talk about it all the time, and it's so far away, but time goes by like that, and we keep talking about like opening day, olden day, it's just like
cutting the ribbon.
I cut the ribbon. It's such a thought in it. And it's like this, and I think that's a big part for us, which makes it quite exciting, because now that you are, you're a professional, you're visualising what we're visualising, and that makes it feel real.
Yeah.
And it's nice, to just think about cutting the ribbon, because before that might not have happened, but now you're thinking, no, this is a possibility.
Yep.
There's a ribbon going to get cut here.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Which is just mad.
Well, it's true, because the team in the office, I mean, it's not just me in the office, there's a fair size wee team there, and we're all getting quite excited, and the whole team, even the guys and the girls who have not been working on the project, are looking at the presentations and thinking, this is interesting. So it's really good camaraderie, and bringing that to you is great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's recently been like the laser drawings and everything that have been done on, that was a company called Ardmore. I think we've already mentioned them before, but obviously with the laser scans and stuff like that, how does that help you guys develop to the next stage of the plans and stuff like that? Where does that take you from the laser scans, which have already been publicised for everybody?
Yeah, so because the condition of the building, we've not got scaffolding and access to get up to those heights, etc., we can't as architects go in and properly survey it. Yeah, so maybe in some projects we would go in with our lasers and measuring tapes and actually draw the drawings and produce the drawings that we would want, but we couldn't do that just because of the height, the condition of the building. So for Ardmore to get in with their drones and their laser equipment and their surveying equipment and produce those drawings for us means that we've got an accurate record of that building as it stands just now. And that means that when it comes time to actually doing, the proper planning drawings, the build want drawings, communicating information to project managers, QSs, the whole design team, it means we've got a very, very good start on what the building's actually like, and it's a fairly accurate record as well, because we work in AutoCAD,
right? So
that's accurate to the millimetre.
Explain what AutoCAD is for people who don't know. That's me. Please do. I'm sure there's others.
The traditional image of an architect might be someone burning the candle oil, with strewn over a desk with set squares and pencils and what have you. So we've obviously moved on quite a bit from that. So we work with computers nowadays, and AutoCAD is basically the pencil that we use. It's a software program that allows us to draw every line basically. So I think a lot of people think, well, you don't draw things now, the computer does it, but actually every line, like the presentation you saw today, every line that's drawn is drawn by the architect, the colour, the thickness, the direction. Right. So, that's how we use it. So it's essentially our tool.
And is that the software that allows you to do the full projections as and turn it into like 3D, 4D and everything like that as well, or anything like
It can do that, right. Yeah. There's different levels of AutoCAD that allows you to do that, to turn it into 3D. But you can take those drawings, the basic drawings that we've got just now, take them out of AutoCAD and put them into other, systems into other software that you can then use to render up a wee bit quicker, etc. So that's how we'll procure it at the next stage. Yeah.
So obviously, with that in mind, being that we've got the laser drawings and everything, and you guys have kind of moved to a stage of concept drawings, if you like. What is the kind of next steps for you then, Kenny, for here? So what happens for here if we do have a concept of what we're looking at? What's the next step?
Well, we're very close to just finalising the concept. We've had a great meeting this morning, and that's great. The next step for the whole project really is to go through the formal planning process. Yeah. So to get through that process, we need to obviously involve the planners, but we need to have a fairly robust package of drawings and information reports to put into the planning department. So we'll be working with yourself and the project team to pull together a list of reports and professionals that we need to get involved, anticipating what we can in terms of what the planners may be looking for us in terms of reports and professionals, and trying basically to pull that together, so costs is important, obviously, for the project, but looking at things like structural engineering reports, architects' drawings, thinking about early stage services, car parking, roads, the kind of basics that allows the project to start to firm itself up so that we've got a good, strong planning case. So and I think we've got one, but we just need to now flesh it out. Yep.
And then the Garrion Tower is going to be, I feel, quite a huge impact to Lanarkshire in general, just with regards to employment and things like that. What's your take on that as a Lanarkshire man, Kenny? What do you think about a project like the Garrion Tower happening here?
I think I follow another social media page on Facebook which talks about the lost buildings of Lanarkshire,
Yeah.
And there's a lot
lost
of
houses in Clyde Valley.
Clyde Valley, that's
Aye.
it. Yeah. And there's a lot of old historic buildings put up that are no longer there now.
Yep.
And you look at them and they're grand, and some of them are lost not that long ago.
Aye, it's sad.
It's really sad.
Aye, it is.
So I'm really excited. It would be regardless of whatever happens with the building. I'm really excited that the building is going to be saved. So I think from the perspective of just history, it's something that's got to be done. And I think that's one of the reasons why the local communities and the planners and all the other people that's going to get involved in it are going to be really excited about it. But from a kind of architectural perspective, it's really exciting to be involved in it because we know where we think we're taking it. And I think a venue of that calibre in Lanarkshire, particularly where it is, next to the Clyde, I think it's going to be outstanding. Yeah.
Obviously, taking all the positives that we've obviously been speaking about there, what do you think is going to be challenges for us? Realistically, we're going to face loads of them, so let's not even kid on. But at the end of the nitty-gritty, you're going to get problems, and every big job of this size will have. But at the moment, just overseeing, what we have in plans, what do you think would be the biggest challenges for us?
I think the biggest challenge we've got just now in front of us is really trying to get to know the building. So we've got an old stone building there that's listed, that's had some water damage. We've got potential damp issues. We've maybe have some stone issues, etc. So really for us, it's to try and get a very good understanding of the building that's there. We know that we can't get access to some of the top floors just now, so we need to try and get access to them, safe access to those. So there's those challenges and understanding. We're trying to eliminate as many unknowns about the existing building as the thing that I think we need to get on top of fairly quickly, because building the new extension or something next to it is much more in anyone's control in terms of planning and building control and how we're going to build it and all that kind of stuff. So getting to know the building as it is just now, can we save a window? Are we taking all the windows out? All those discussions, are they salvageable? I'd love to put a scaffold up it and just actually walk the scaffold, walk the facade and get in and just start to record and understand and eliminate any challenges the building's going to throw at us. Yeah.
No, that's good. And just because we are, discussing challenges, then what is your thoughts on the time frame? If we've started this project, we always kind of said hopefully we could get into the build for 2024 and hopefully be done. Realistically, what do you think a cutting of the ribbon date would be? Realistically,
I would like to think we should be looking at trying to get a planning approval sometime this summer. Yeah. And if we can achieve that then gives us a kind of green light to fire on and get all the kind of the more detailed building warrant construction type information pulled together, because there's no point really doing that unless the planners are on board. So that can all happen fairly. Once you're past the planning stage, then the other stuff can happen with a bit more control, I would say. So I'd like to think that we could be, on site maybe the back end of this year, beginning of January, and potentially, it would be nice to be.
That was kind of what we always thought. That's been the plans for the start, and for that still to be realistic.
I think
blowing my mind.
I think 12 months is achievable.
Aye.
To get through planning, get your building warrants in place, and hopefully be ready to start on site.
Aye.
And then everything going well on site. We'd like to be on that rooftop somewhere.
Absolutely. Well, that kind of brings me to my next point, because this actually wasn't in my notes, but we had a meeting obviously this morning. I was quite nervous this morning, actually, if I'm being honest, and I don't know why. I think I wasn't sure what to expect, and I think that just going there, well, it's the 18th of February will be 1 year I've owned the Garrion Tower, so it's coming up in a year, and I feel like I've looked at the building for a year, and I just wasn't sure if this was going to be. I think I've not confirmed it's been real in my own mind until I've seen concepts this morning, and when yous have come in, yous have absolutely blew my mind, and I'm being honest, like the ideas, and I think it's going to blow everybody's mind, and that's I want everybody to follow the social media if you're interested in this project. We're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we are on Instagram and Facebook. I want everybody to follow us, because in the next few weeks we're hoping to reveal some teasers, which I can't actually wait, because I think it will blow everybody's mind. It's really, really exciting. Thanks so much for joining us, Kenny. I really appreciate your time. I'm sure this will not be the last sit down we have, because we'll need to keep the people updated.
Absolutely.
I really, just touching on the Lost Houses of Clyde Valley, but that is literally one of the groups that has just been a massive support for the Garrion Tower project, because everybody is within the community just so happy for a building to be saved, and I just want to keep everybody so updated, and I want everybody to know every step of the way what we're up to. I think it is important, so thanks so much for helping me do that.
No problem.
Keep the people updated. And thanks so much for watching again, guys. Please head over to the Garrion Tower. We have a website as well, Garrion Tower. Type it into Google, you'll definitely find us, and we'll keep in touch. Thanks again.